How's it going, everyone? Jason Pacheco here with Matt Reddy. As always, we took a week off. It was Thanksgiving, but we're back. A few different things happened this past week while we were away, so we're going to touch on some of those things. Starting out with Matt, he had 2 closings, I think, these past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I had 2 closings. I think I touched a little bit on these.
Let's hear it again. I know you had a few final walkthrough things that happened. Actually, both deals had some final walkthrough headaches.
Yeah, they had some. Yeah, I think I mentioned too on the last one about the leaking in the basement, which got resolved with the house in Coventry. But the other deal, the new construction. Our client, he purchased in cash. Was able to get the deal significantly under. Had that closing. That one actually. It went. I want to say the final walkthrough went pretty smooth, but it took 2 of them. Yeah, I mean, even so, it goes to show you, even on a brand new build, I mean, things can be, not finished, or there's always something. And
what's your thoughts on? I was thinking about, like, if you put up a home for sale.
Yeah.
Like writing in there, this home is not new construction, so please don't think every component of the home is brand new. However, I'm going to highlight what is brand new. Boom, 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 boom. So it kind of lets buyers think, like, yeah, this guy's right. It is actually, like, you can't expect, like, for my home, when I bought, I did a lot to that house, but I didn't touch the heating system or the hot water tank. And I know the heating, hot water tank, and windows, everything else is new. And I know when I go to sell it, the buyers are going to say, oh, well, your hot water tank is old, so we want a price reduction. It's like, come on, but I fixed the roof. I did this. What about all that? So I was just brainstorming in my head. Like, if my listing my personal home, if I were to put, we got this place here. It just a reminder, this is not new construction. However, we would like to highlight what is brand new, being the roof, that's
actually a really good idea. I never, because I've never, like, we represent selling homes, but I haven't sold my personal home. You obviously haven't, and that's actually a good point, because it's like,
yeah, what I noticed is doing the job for other folks, it's different when you're doing it for yourself, and I think you learn that way. Like, when I'm brainstorming my personal property, I do want to get every penny I can out of that house, and I do take pride in the updates I did, versus if it was a client saying that, like, dude, we get it, like, you did this to your house. But now I realize that when you're the seller, they actually, where they're coming from.
There's a lot of money, there's a lot of money on the line. So yeah, I mean, I get where they're coming from too. That's actually a good point. I wouldn't mind. And we've done a lot of updates to our houses too, so it's like, I think some sellers too are also like, not saying any of ours that we've represented, but they're trying to, like, oh, I did this and this, and it's like, you didn't really do, or it's like they might have redid something in 2005. It's like, did you really redo it, type of thing. So, that got that going on, but yeah, we're able to close on a couple.
So 2 closings, and I know you're working with another buyer. It's tough right now with those buyers, with the market, and talking with home inspectors. They're slow. I feel like everyone's reaching out to me right now. Lenders out of nowhere. Hey, how are you? How you doing?
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of that too.
And it's like, texts. Oh, they must be a little slow,
Yeah.
which is, and then home inspection. Hey, how's it going? How are you? And everyone's just feeling it right now. And last winter, I remember, I know statistically, we as a team weren't that slow. Everyone else wasn't. And John actually asked me, a guy in our team, texted me today, just say, hey, just wanted to brainstorm and talk. Do you think the market is healthy right now? Like, is this normal? Is this a normal not seller's market? Or is this actually below normal and it's a little slower than normal?
It's a good question.
And I mean, it's a good question. And I've been doing it for 5 years, so I can't really speak on the past 5, anything further out. But what I'm guessing is, like, right now, inventory is going down again. I remember looking yesterday. So I would say before, in like November, there was 1,200 single family homes for sale. So 1,200. Right now, there's about 1,050. So almost going to creep back under 1,000 again. So right now, buyers are in a place where, all right, so if I'm going to go buy a home, I have to pay a high interest rate, which stinks. But when I go and get the home, I'm not even getting a home I really like because there's not a lot to pick from. So there's like, I'm getting an okay home I don't really love with the high interest rate. I'm just gonna take time off. I'm not gonna look right now. So that takes some buyers away, and less buyers or less clients. The same, and then sellers are thinking right now. I think it's, hey, Christmas is around the corner, Thanksgiving. Let me just wait till the spring market and the winter's away and the snow, and I'll put my house up then. So it's really creating this extreme like lull in the winter. High interest rates, lack of inventory. If there's no sellers or buyers, there's no clients for us, and it's slow right now. So I mean, just have to, as a realtor out there, you have to be smart with your budgeting. Do you want to pay for Zillow leads still? Do you want to spend $300 a month on your marketing specialists and stuff like that? That's up to you to answer. But I'm personally trying to cut back, get through the winter.
Try to get leads more organically.
More naturally, organically. Do things a little cheaper and not pay for, a networking event, $800 networking event versus, I can just naturally try and find that lead just to get through the winter. That's kind of my game plan right now. Yeah. But yeah, so what else is going on?
That's pretty much it for me. Working with, I got that one other buyer. So, I mean, it's definitely after those two, it's looks like, at least for me personally too, it's starting to, it's definitely, I can see it, like I'm going to start feeling the effects.
For this year, we're going to close on, I'm pretty confident to say 22.
22, okay.
22 this year as a team, which isn't bad. It's the same thing we did last year. So being this past quarter or so was slower, we still hit the same numbers, which is good. I like to see that. We didn't go down at all.
That's honestly good. I was talking to a kid that does it full time on another team. He was on the list side of one of these transactions, and he told me he's been in it for 3 or 4 years now, and he said he does like 4 to 5 a year, and he's like fully in, or 4 to 6. I'm sorry, 4 to 6 a year, and he's in it full time. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been doing it a year and a half. I don't know what this. You probably could touch more on that, but and I know it's as a team, but. I think we're doing well. I mean, as far as just from asking around, even like, actually, I would say both these deals. The list agents, I think you might have mentioned too. They don't do as much. The more and more I look around, they don't really do as much. As a whole, I'd say so. 22, I would say is good, especially for the way the end of the year kind of went with the interest rates. Or even the second half of the year, really, the interest rates started picking up even late summer. So I would say, still a pretty good year.
What else is something else new that happened this week?
Big news for
Big
Jason.
News here. I actually am pending on my first investment property. It's a 2-family in Warwick.
It's awesome.
Pending. It was the day before Thanksgiving. I got the offer accepted.
Yeah.
Obviously was a little stressed out, but hey, I'm very confident in I do this full time, so I see a lot of homes, and I can see value in something, and I know, and it goes to show for anyone watching, if you know any properties out there that you kind of interested in, just shoot me the address. I'll give you honest feedback on it and what I think it is, if I personally would like it or would go for it, and here's maybe why I wouldn't go for it, and we're always here for that. Again, we do this. A person, out there that's not a real estate agent, they might, buy 2-3 homes in their life and that's it. And we sold 80 homes in 4 years. So we've been involved with, to get to those 80 homes, we probably had to be in 300. We probably each looked at, you probably been inside 200 homes. I probably been inside like 500 homes. So we know what a good home is. We know what a good deal is. So never hesitate to reach out with and just text us an address. Say, hey, can you peek at this? I'm kind of interested. We'll give you some honest feedback.
And now so just so everyone knows, like he already owns a single family home. So you have your primary, that's your primary residence. And this is just an investment. You're not going to live in it, right?
No, right. So it's a 2-family. So right now,
and what's you can go ahead too, but if you want to explain a little bit about the difference too, as far as like, what you had to put down versus if you bought it first type of thing.
Yeah, here's a few different things I learned so far while I'm doing it. So you had to put 25% down. So again, I touched on this before. If you're out there and you're looking to buy a multifamily, do it first. Don't buy your single family first and then your multifamily. because then you have to put 25% of the sale price as a down payment. Never mind all the other costs that come with it. And I'll get into that. So I strongly suggest, being a first-time home buyer, buy a multifamily first. Live in it, rent out the other units. You put 3.5% down. It's such a good deal. But coming from where I came from, it is possible. Obviously, I'm doing it right now. It just took a lot of saving, and it's a little more risky because I'm putting 25% down. And what came along with that, what I learned so far is, so an investor putting 25% down. Like my offer, I asked for $7,000 seller credit to help pay for some of the closing costs, because I knew, 25% down plus $10,000 in closing costs is a lot of money. So I tried to save as much as I could.
Yeah.
But I learned that you only can ask for 2% of the sale price. That's the cap. So like,
oh, okay.
It was
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's
So I
interesting.
only could ask for a credit of like 5,800 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't ask for 7,000. So what I had to do there is, oh gosh, what I had to do there was I had to adjust the purchase price a little and everything to get the 7,000 back. So that's what I learned. One, if you're buying a multifamily as an investor loan, 25% down, and you want a seller credit after the home inspection, or when your offer you put, seller to credit you money back, you only can do 2% of the purchase price. Something else I learned is, what was it? So again, like if I wanted to put this property into an LLC, so it's not in my name and it's taking some liability away, the insurance is going to be more on it. And so in financing it, I think I was speaking with the lender saying you wouldn't even be able to finance it in an LLC, so you'd have to do it after closing.
Yeah.
So if you're planning on buying a multifamily or an investment property and you want to have it in an LLC so it's not in your name and it just takes some liability away from, God forbid someone got hurt in the home, they can't sue you and your personal stuff. It's in an LLC, so they only can go after what's in the LLC.
Yeah, that's a must. You got to put it in an LLC. I mean, you can't, like, they can, because it's all attached to that one home. So if something happens, they can't come after your personal asset, like your other home. You know what I mean?
So I was speaking with the lender. He said you can't do that now. You have to do it after closing.
After close, okay. Yeah.
And I was speaking to the insurance guy, and he goes, your insurance is going to be more money.
Yeah.
So that's another tip I learned. And another thing right now with the rates is I had to buy points.
Oh yeah, I
had to
talking with lenders. Yeah.
I had to buy points or I couldn't get the house. And what points are is usually you can get an interest. Usually if you buy a home, you pick your interest rate, and let's say it's 6%, you move forward. I had to buy my interest rate for the most part. You can kind of look at it like that. So the best rate was like 8.25, 8.25.
Oh, damn, is that
with me paying points? There was no option. You had to pay points along with that.
Oh, because it's an investment, right? The rates are a little.
They're higher.
Okay.
So, but if you want an even better interest rate, you can pay more points. So that was something else right now I didn't know. Going into a multifamily investment property right now in December of 2023, you have to buy points. At least where I'm going through, and I trust this lender. So. That's something else I learned. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm stressed a little bit, but and you said something very good. I saw the home on Tuesday last week before Thanksgiving, and I'm like, this place is nice. And I was talking with Matt, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little chickening out a little, and you're like, throwing excuses out there, like, oh, but this, and you're like, Jay, and he said to me, and it was so true, Jay, there's never a perfect time to drop 25% on a house, like 80. There's never a perfect time to drop 80 grand
on an not even your primary home. There's an investment. So
there'll be never a perfect time to do it. You just have to do it. And if you keep saying this and looking for that perfect time, you'll be 60 and then you'll buy your first one. It's so true. I know. Yeah. So I mean, the only way I know personally, the only way I'm really going to get into it is if I just start. If things are tight, like right now, of course, me and the wife are budgeting no more Dunkins.
Yeah, no more Dunkins.
Or
yes.
making coffee at home. If we want to go out to eat, let's try Applebee's. Let's try Chili's. Let's not go somewhere expensive. And, until we figure out, okay, here's the actual bills. Here's what's happening.
The money's coming.
Yeah.
Like, things are, up and running.
So the story with this multifamily, it's a 2-family. It's 3 beds in each, 3 beds, 1 bath, 3 beds, 1 bath. One unit is occupied, and the other unit's occupied. And I placed the offer under list price, and I didn't ask for anyone to get evicted. So
How much under list price? Just a little bit, or
like 12 grand under
12
list price.
grand? Okay, so that's
So and the listing agent said to me, your offer's accepted. We did have other offers that were stronger, that were higher priced, but my client didn't want to deal with evicting anyone, so which ultimately leads to us accepting your offer. So it's hard to understand, but if you're going into a property with 25% down, investor loan, you have more of an advantage than someone going into it with 3.5% down. And I know that might contradict with what I said a little earlier about do the 3.5% down first, which I still agree with, but I'm just saying the other person has more leverage, and here's why. Definitely. I was able to place an offer saying I'll keep both tenants and buy the home. Someone going 3.5% down needs to live in it. That's a rule. So they had to ask the seller to have one evicted. So you're forcing in your offer, you have to say you to evict unit 1 or 2. So now the seller gets an offer. Here's a list price offer. I have to go through the eviction process, and then you can get my home. Or here's an offer, 10 grand under list price, but you'll keep both tenants, and I don't have to go through the eviction process. He chose mine. Yeah. And I probably would too.
I think you would. Yeah, I mean, because an eviction, it can go fine. It's still kind of annoying, or it could literally go completely south. Right. So, and I think you also too, you had another contingency in there too.
I waived the home inspection.
Yeah, so
I waived the home inspection.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's huge
from the seller side. Like it really. Yeah, that's definitely.
So I went into it. I waived the home inspection. Again, I'm not a home inspector, but I did see I've been inside friggin' 500 different homes. I've been a part of probably 100+ home inspections. I have a very good idea what to look for.
You talk with inspectors too all the time.
Yeah, I have a very good idea what to look for. I looked at the heating system. I looked at the electrical. I looked at the ceilings above the baths for mold.
Leaking.
I looked for leaks. I was in the basement. Everything looked dry. I looked at, like I said, the electrical panels. I did as much as I could. I'm sure there's something not right, but like I said, every home's not new, and when I get into it, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I just need the heating systems, hot water tanks, and electrical to work. Everything.
That's true.
And the roof was 1 year old.
Yeah, that's big.
I saw the windows; they were new. The vinyl siding was nice. So if there's a leak under the sink, I'll deal with it.
It's not a big deal.
If one outlet doesn't work, I'll deal with it. But yeah, that's what's going on. I'm going to be closing the first week of January. Gonna get in there and do some things to those tenants. Probably, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna raise Unit 2. Unit 1, I can't. So if you're buying a house and there's a lease in place, you're inheriting the lease. So I have to honor his lease, which expires next August. So I can't touch his rent price. I can't evict him, nothing. That's what's going to stay until next year. The other one's month to month. So once I get the place, I have to give some notice, and I can go ahead and try and raise the rents, which I'm going to. But again, I understand it's there. I understand, and I think I'm going into it, not like the typical landlord. I feel like the typical landlord is 40 plus, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. They're definitely a lot older.
I don't think they're as understanding. I am. I know this space is this person's home, so I'm going to respect it. I'm not going to go in there and blow this person's rent up and want them out in 30 days. I'm going to work with them, and I'm going to work with any tenant that goes in there. I'm going to respect their space. I'm not barging in their home. I can't by law, but I'm going to make sure they always have notice. I'm going to be friendly. That's their home. Yeah, I pay the mortgage essentially, and my name's on the house, but that's their space, and I'm going to really, really honor that. And I think that goes a long way. I think they'll respect me back. Hey, you're short your payment this month. All right, what can we do to put you on a payment plan to pay me back? I'm not going to demand it or you're evicted. I'm going to work with you. To an extent, I'm not gonna let them walk all over me, because again, they're gonna see it.
There's definitely, you gotta the fine line. You'll know
coming from your experience, because you were going. I'm 26. I saw both tenants. They're maybe 50 plus. They're gonna see me and probably think they can walk. What's this little boy doing? Being my landlord, I'm not gonna pay him and see how and test the line. Yeah. And I'm gonna, whatever. I'll handle it.
Yeah, I think too. You're definitely right. I even the contractor I had that did my bathroom, he owns a bunch of multifamilies, and I have a big parking lot out back, right? And I basically just, me and my girlfriend, just 2 spots. I'd leave the entire rest for them. And he even said to me, again, he's a little older, and he's like, man, they got you like, and I'm like, honestly, I don't have any problems with them, like, I don't know if I'm a little younger, so maybe I don't know enough to charge for those spots or not give them, or only give them one. I don't know. But, again, own the property over 3 years. Not one payment has been late. I never hear from them. You know what I mean? They're quiet. Everything's really good. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like you can't really put a price on that. You get along, and I don't know. I mean, I live there too. So, but you're not gonna live, but it's just easier, I think, for everyone, when you just respect the boundaries and, try to work with people. Yeah, definitely. Definitely as people get older and like landlords, I've seen some, just like, you don't want to pay, get out.
Right.
They don't care. I get where some of that comes from. I guess you do it over and over and over again. Eventually you're just like, you know what? I get it, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes, like, being younger, you're more patient.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I'm just getting everything. I'm trying to get everything in order. Like I'm going to be taking the place over in January. So if it snows, what do I do?
Yeah. What's your ideal situation as far as like the movement? Obviously you probably want them to just, well, you have one tenant that's, they're going to be paying their very small rent. By the way, the rent is like, for one of those units is like, it's still going to be fine until then, but it's like, I would say it's like 50% under market rent. But the other one, you prefer they just stay, or you looking to hopefully get in there?
I'm gonna
renovate it.
I'm gonna get in there, and if they do, I'm gonna get in there and probably raise the rent in like 2 increments.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna raise, and I'll be very transparent with them. Do it whatever the way I have to do it. I don't know these laws yet. I'm going to learn them and how to go about doing it.
Yeah.
But here's a raise in rent, and we're going to be raising it again in 3 months. Just a heads up.
Yeah.
So boom, 2 increments. I'm going to go up in.
Yeah.
And
that's actually really not, like, you really, I mean, you don't even, just so you guys, people know, like, you don't even have to do that. That's like really,
right.
I would
like
say,
I said, I want to try and be respectful.
Yeah.
And then if they decide to leave, I'm gonna go in there and probably do some very light updating.
Yeah.
Which is different here actually, is I don't even think in each unit, each tenant owns all the appliances. So if one of they leave, I'll have no stove or fridge or anything.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's,
I mean,
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. So
but
I took that into consideration. That's like $3,000, maybe $3,000. When they leave, I know I'll have to put in a stove, a fridge. And I was also thinking it's literally 4 to 5 minutes from the airport.
4 to 5 minutes.
So I could Airbnb a unit. I'd have to furnish it. But I mean, when people fly into the airport for business and probably go on Airbnb for a place near the airport, go to a couple meetings.
It's actually a good idea. Yeah.
Look
into your local laws on that too.
Yeah.
For people watching and you. I just, for the zoning, we're not too familiar, but something we can find out.
That was another thought, but yeah, I mean, if one of them leave, I'll just go in there, do some updating, put some appliances in there.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's just an example too of like, somebody, like, obviously you take it into consideration, but you don't want to let like a few appliances stop you from getting another, I mean, I don't even know what they're paying, but another $500, $600, $700 a month. I mean, you really gotta, you got to run it. I think a lot of tenants understand too. I mean, even I just had a client close and he raised the rents, he called them and, gave them the notice and they were like, oh, that's fine. Like they kind of understand usually too. And,
what is your take? Now there are 2 oil tanks on oil.
Okay. Yep.
Gas is available. I'm thinking, I know the heating systems need to be updated. It's not even a question. Okay. I'm hoping it gets through the winter. I'm gonna probably connect it to gas and get rid of the oil tanks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously you probably already have, but look into like the price, and I would say the first year, just deal with it for a year. Yeah, because that way you can get that other unit or either out or up in rent. Now everything, and now you can go ahead and use the money. But yeah, I think converting to gas. Yeah, so oil's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, when are you getting into the single family? I know you're saving hard right now too.
Yeah. So yeah, as everyone, people probably know if you don't. me and my girlfriend, we live in a multifamily. I bought it 3 years ago. House hacking, the mortgage, it's basically a wash. And we're just saving up to buy a single family at this point. We're saving hard. And rates are not where I'd like them to be for the house we want. So, it is going to help too. We move out. This place is going to, it'll profit $1,000, $1,200 a month, whatever. So, another reason to buy a multifamily, first, if you can, it'll actually help offset some of those costs too. So, saving up, looking, obviously the second house, we're pickier.
Yeah, right.
We're pickier now. So, and with rates,
so are you hoping next year?
Yeah, the goal, 2023 is the goal still. So, I would think by mid, maybe a little bit, not the end of the year, but, mid to the end of the year, somewhere in there, I would say. So, but
back to the other, it's kind of, every house I get under contract, the Pacheco Homes Instagram account, I'll post like for sale or pending or under contract. So the one I got my offer accepted
I saw.
I took screw it.
Yeah,
it's offer accepted. It is.
You're not lying.
But I got a message, and this goes to show. All right, here. So any buyer out there looking during like the week of Thanksgiving, the week of Christmas, don't take that time off. You're going to. And that's what I'm confident I got a little discount. I got a little steal during these times when there's less, a lot of people, Thanksgiving's tomorrow. I'm not going to go look at a house. I got so much to do today. Then, Thanksgiving goes by. Friday, you need Friday to recoup from Thanksgiving. Now it's Saturday. You get back on Zillow. You've been off it for 4 days. The house you liked is no longer available. So I went to go see a home on Tuesday, loved it, placed the offer, got it accepted. It's my personal home, the multi. I got a message on Saturday from someone, hey, can I have more information on the property that I personally, little does that person know, I personally just, I'm under contract with it. So I just came out quick and said, it's no longer available. But that goes to show that, again, if you're out there during, it's 4th of July weekend or it's a big holiday weekend, don't take time off. If you take time off, you could potentially lose on a deal. And I think if I happen to not go see that home the day before Thanksgiving, it was Tuesday, then the day before Thanksgiving, I got the offer accepted. So if I happen to want to go see the home because it's Thanksgiving week and, I had to go grocery shopping, do this, do that, I wouldn't have got the place.
Yeah.
So, and the same thing with that person that messaged me. She waited till this day 6 on market. It's no longer available. Why'd you wait so long? If you liked the place, you should have reached out maybe the first 2 or 3 days. But she's probably, the third day was probably Thanksgiving, so she's not going to reach out on Thanksgiving. That's what she missed out.
Yeah, so that probably played into it too. Contingencies, it sounds like, the holiday,
Yeah, I'm guessing. I mean, I cannot wait to see. So I'm under contract around 275.
275.
And I'm confident, and I cannot wait to see the appraisal comes in around 305.
Oh yeah, I know, that would be great. It probably
pretty confident too.
Yeah.
So it's tough because the way an appraiser and the way person determining the list price, they go on the realtor portal, half a mile radius, past 6 months, what's sold comparable to mine? 0 sold. There's not one.
Oh, because you already did it. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I did with the appraiser.
It's gonna be at least, I don't know a house that even the one it looked. I mean, I wasn't in it, but I mean, I don't know a house that's not falling apart. That's 275. Really.
Yeah, and like what I do is sell. All right, let's say I'm at 275. Then I did all homes available for sale in the state of Rhode Island at 275, and you go through them, and it's like, that's trash. That's trash. Oh, mine's better than that. It's better than that. So it's really making me confident, knowing like, wow, I did it. I got a good deal here because I 3 beds, 2 units, 3 beds in each, 275.
That's really good.
No peeling paint, brand new roof, brand new windows, good parking, separate utilities.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it is. It is really exciting. I think too, I would say probably the first, that property's probably a lot better than the one I bought originally, but I think the first like 3 to 4 months are probably the worst.
Is it?
Yeah, probably even in your single family, we're probably the first couple doing the floors and all this, all this crap. So, anyone out there buying, first couple of months when you buy, an investment. Even your first home could be, I mean, if you buy a brand new build, but for those of you buying like homes that are not brand new, investments, first couple of months, this can be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but
yes, I just want to wrap up this again. Anyone out there, he's got an investment property. I'm pending with mine. We've been in over combined 500 homes. If you have a home out there, if you have an address and you're interested in the home, you want to make an offer, you want to invest in it, you're just scared, you don't feel confident, you need to bounce some numbers off someone, run it by either one of us. We'll look at it and give you I'll give you my most honest feedback. Would I do it or would I not?
Yeah, that's
personally, I'll let you know if I would buy it as an investment or if I wouldn't. Here's why. And take that information and our opinion and run with it. If
that's how I try to answer questions. We answer it based on if I was buying it. So like that's how we do it. We wouldn't, you know what I mean, for a client.
Yeah,
like what would I do if I was buying this?
This week I had someone come at me with the pre-approval letter from Bank of America.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not persuading them to use my referral partners. I'm just telling you from my experiences here. Yeah. I've been involved with a ton of transactions. This is your first home. I've seen many experiences happen with Bank of America. They're not good. Take what you want from that and do what you want with that. I'm not going to push you. I'm just giving you and letting you know. Well, it's like
It's like if I was buying too, like I wouldn't use.
Yeah, it's almost an experience in life. Like I've been through this 100 times. You've been through it never. Here's what I've learned. Read the book, take my opinion, and you do what you want with it. That's kind of how I treat my clients. Yeah. Hey, something else happened today. Oh, a client's pre-approved with Navigant. Navigant's awesome. I'm happy with that.
And they actually have a good rep.
Yeah, but hey, I got someone that can give you a discount because you're a firefighter. I'm not forcing you to use my guy, but just want to let you know it's available for you. Do what you want with it.
And we get nothing for it.
Yeah.
I know we've said this, but we don't get anything. It's just easier to communicate. The transaction goes smooth. They're available all the time. All these things that Navigant closes at 5. Not to say that they're bad. Bank of America's terrible, but it's just easier. It really is. If we need something done quick on the fly, they're there. That's huge. And you see things go wrong. The final walkthrough, we need, I don't know. There's so many things we need, and they're close. Someone's not available. It can get tough. So,
all right. Well, we got to wrap it up because tonight the Patriots are playing. You probably didn't even know that.
I didn't even know that.
Pats are on tonight. Big game, Buffalo. Yeah. Hopefully they win. We'll be back here next week. Again, we always welcome guests. So if anyone wants to join, feel free to reach out to one of us. We'd love to have you on the podcast. Again, if anyone has a property they want just some honest feedback with, reach out to us. We'll give you that.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah. Put the links down below.
Yeah, follow us. Hope you guys have a good week. Hope you enjoyed my stressful, exciting news. If you have any questions about it, reach out. I'll be very transparent and let you guys know what's going on with it. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks.
Kissing the cannibals, sugar getting